Hi there. Welcome to Pallet University, and I'm guessing from the title that you know, and also probably the thumbnail. I haven't made those yet, but they will be something to the effect of literal filler. So if you did not know, for the past 2 weeks, as well as this week and next week, I've been out doing field work as part of my degree, basically. So I've been living out of a tent at a campground in central South Dakota along the Missouri River, where we've been looking for fossils and stuff. So because of that, I haven't had a ton of time. In fact, I am actually recording this this Friday. What is today? I don't even know. Saturday, before this video goes up. The last 2 videos have been pre-produced and uploaded well before they actually went live. But the video that was planned for today, I had something planned for it, but it kind of fell through. So I am just recording this really quick, some literal filler, with one of my favorite games. Literally not Pokemon related whatsoever, but it's a game that I loved when I was a kid in middle school and high school. I would play it all the time. And with the sort of death of Adobe Flash and Flash games on the internet, the company that makes the Bloons Tower Defense games put not just all the Bloons games, but every game that they make onto a thing on Steam. You can get all these completely for free, and they will not be lost to the death of Adobe Flash, which is awesome. I love when companies and stuff do that. So we're going to take some time and play. Not the newest, because there's a Bloons Tower Defense 6 for mobile, but that one you have to pay for. Actually, I think it's on Steam as well, but you also have to pay for that. We're going to play some Bloons Tower Defense 5. So let's get into that. So this, like I said, was one of my favorite games because I love strategy type games. And this game has, obviously the strategy of being a tower defense game, but also has strategy in the sense that there are things you can do while not in the game in sort of the central hub area to make your life easier. So for instance, this right here are specialty buildings. So it's whichever one you have built at the time can power up one specific tower. And I use a lot of the Dartling gun towers. So I chose that one, which is rather expensive, honestly. But you can do things you can also buy special agents, which are unique units that you can use using the in-game currency, which I think is pretty cool. But I guess I'm not gonna, delay anymore. Let's play some tracks. What do I want to play? I'm literally doing this off the top of my head. I didn't pre-plan any of this, so just so I don't make myself look like I don't know what I'm doing, let's go with a beginner one. But we'll play it on medium though, just because. No, I don't want any premium stuff. I don't want that. So this one's interesting because it's one of the few tracks that, okay, first of all, I should have said this at the beginning. If this is not your thing, feel free to just tune in next week. Ideally, there'll be a video up next week. Hopefully talking more about, I think it'll be another non-Pokemon one, but it'll be related to science at least, which I like. Obviously, it's kind of the point of the channel. That'll be up next week, ideally. So if this video isn't your thing, tune out. I'll see you next week. If not, feel free to just hang and let me know some of your favorite online Flash games from the early 2010s and late 2000s. Let me know down below. Anyway, this is one of the few tracks where there's multiple entry points. Fortunately, they're very close together. So the path is basically they just follow this sort of sine wave pattern, which is actually very good. There's a reason that this is a beginner track, because you can basically just throw one of those right there and be fine for a long time. It's very easy. So I'd be surprised if I have to do anything else besides this one tower for a while. But I would like to... whoa, why do I have one free? When did that happen? Oh, wow. Okay, so color me surprised. So I do need to put something else right here. But I've got one of these free, so why not? Lost a couple lives there because I wasn't paying attention. That's actually quite typical of me. But anyway, so the reason why I want this setup is because right here is like the prime spot. Because if you have something able to aim this way, you know, toward where they're all coming in, you can sort of bottleneck them, which is what I'm saving up to get a Dartling gun for. Because that's basically like the sole purpose of a Dartling gun, because it actually follows your mouse. So like wherever your mouse points is where the Dartling gun shoots. I've put so many hours of my life into these games, because like I remember like getting hyped when Bloons Tower Defense 3 came out. And like I don't know why, but like this game is just super addicting to me, especially like as a little like 10-year-old. I don't know why. This is probably like the first strategy game that I ever ended up playing, and it's probably like the reason why I really enjoy strategy games so much. Alright, so let's put you there. And then I can just set my mouse over here and it'll follow it. Or I could pick off ones that sort of get away. And this one's nice because there's a straight line this way and a straight line this way, which is like super helpful for Dartling guns. Although they're not super accurate though, because you can see the path kind of moves back and forth. This is literally all this video is going to be, so if this is annoying, sorry. This would be fun to like live stream for me for some reason. I don't know why this sounds fun to me, but it does. Maybe I could do something like, where like chat tells me what to do, basically. That could be kind of fun. So some tracks are much easier than others. I find typically that tracks with water are actually easier. Because there are two towers that can only be placed on water, and that's the Monkey Buccaneer and the Submarine. Both of which are like incredibly like good value for how much they cost. Especially the Submarine. So like just being able to use those towers, and they're both relatively cheap, because I think like the Buccaneer is like 500, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 500, and the Sub is only 350. So it's they're very good value, and you can get them super early because they're cheap, which is always nice. So I am eventually going to have to buy some other things, but I'm kind of saving up. I was going to buy one of these, but it's really hard to actually get a banana farm while having a Dartling gun, because the banana farms produce bananas that you have to like bring your mouse near. But unless I place one at the front, which is not super optimal, it can get kind of dicey. Let's see. Let's get... I'll save up, actually. I'll once we get closer to like the 30s, then I think I'll start worrying about buying some other things. There's also something just very satisfying to me about just hearing all the pops. It's like bubble wrap. But I do understand how like it could be super annoying if that's all you're hearing for however long this takes. So meat, you have to get to what, around 65? Yeah. Okay, so what else do I want to add? I guess I could add a monkey wizard. Why not? Or let's just go all in on the dartling guns. I like how there's different sound effects. So like this one right here has darts that can pierce anything. It's got this one here, depleted plutonium darts. So it can pop the lead balloons, but this one now it can because I just bought that. But before they couldn't, so you could hear it hitting the lead balloons, and it would just sounded like it would bounce off, which was a good touch. I think in previous, like some of the older ones, you could actually see the darts bouncing off of them instead of just like disappearing once they would hit it. And so when you first start the game, you don't start with all of the towers. You start with just the most basic single tower, and then if you see down at the bottom, I'll point it out well now, but down at the bottom you start at rank 1, right? And every time you reach however many balloons, like I think each pop is 1 experience point. So as you rank up, you get, you know, each of the towers, and then each tower has like a final form, you know, like Dragon Ball Z, and those get unlocked as you like rank up as well. But the different upgrades for the towers increase, like you unlock those just by using that tower more. So the towers that you don't use don't like get better, which is interesting. Like this was the first time that they really did that. It also like sort of made you make an account with them if you wanted to not start over every time, which is really cool. This, like what it says up in the top right or top left corner there, it says Dart Monkey, you know, whatever. That's just because I had it auto make an account. I didn't make that account because I was like, well, I'm pretty sure I had an account back in the day with like my high school email maybe, but I definitely have no idea what that would be. So I just had it like auto generate one. See, and that's nice on this middle stretch here because they're both aiming at each other, so it really makes it hard for like anything to get through. So let's just do that for a round. Okay, so we lost some lives on that one. Probably shouldn't do that again. Can we upgrade these? Oh, we can. Ooh. This is where it gets fun. Some of like the high-end upgrades are where things get fun. How much does that cost? 5,700. So I'll slow this down so you can actually see it. But with the laser one, it shoots so fast that when you have it on speed up, it doesn't look like it's really shooting. It just looks like these balls are just like wiggling back and forth, which I think is really funny. Anywho, we might as well put a super monkey in here somewhere. Do you not fit? I don't believe you fit. Oh, okay, you can fit in here somewhere. That's also a trick, is finding exactly where different towers will fit. So Super Monkey's actually got a really interesting upgrade in this, like in Blue Star Defense 5. So, as you can see from the laser cannon here, the upgrade path on the right is closed because I bought the lasers. Whereas for this one, I can still buy both. So if I buy these rockets, then I can't buy lasers. So you can buy 2 upgrades for each side, and then the third one determines the 4th one that you can get. But with Super Monkeys, before, this was a thing introduced in Blue Star Defense 5. Before, their final form was something called the Sun God. And that was just it. But this one, so the Sun God does exist, where you can upgrade the Sun God further. And it gets real crazy. Because it becomes like this giant temple thing that like absorbs all the towers around it. And then like becomes powered up based on what towers you sacrifice to it, which I think is really, really interesting. It's like by far the most expensive thing in the game, but it's like, it's probably not actually worth it, but I like to think it is. Just because I like the idea of all of these, like, all these different monkeys combining their energies to create this super crazy monkey tower thing. Is this content? You tell me. So I want to see how much it costs on Medium because I don't actually know. It's like 40 some thousand, I think, which is, quite expensive. That, or you can turn it into Robo Monkey. So right now it only shoots like 1 beam, right? Robo Monkey shoots 2, and it turns into like RoboCop almost, which I just think is funny. So this is the Sun God. Okay, so never mind. I said 40. JK. It costs 100,000. The temple demands sacrifice. Its arsenal of unstoppable balloon destruction is enhanced and modified by the types of towers sacrificed. Use at your own peril. So like the Sun God itself is already like probably the best tower in the game other than that. How many more rounds do we have? What is that? Math. 8 rounds. What else can I get up to good quality? I definitely won't end up with enough money to get another Super Monkey up to level, but actually I'll try it. Worst case scenario, I can sell something. But yeah, I'll show the other Super Monkey upgrade. So if you're ever wondering, how did Gavin spend his study halls in high school? Was he a good student? How did he become such a good scientist? This is literally what I did. During senior year included. This is literally just what I did. this is probably going to be my go-to filler thing in the future. Just so you know. So maybe next time I'll do like an intermediate difficulty track as opposed to this one, which is probably the easiest track. Oh yeah, also, so a friend of mine is trying to talk me into doing a podcast. So let me know your thoughts on that. I posted about it on Twitter, and I know this is pretty deep in the video to be asking people's thoughts on things. But yeah, so one of my friends is trying to convince me to start a podcast. Basically just being like, because I tell him all these stories about just these kooky things that I get up to with being a scientist, and especially with fieldwork. So I put up a picture of a rattlesnake that I found on my Facebook. Because I found just like a wild rattlesnake, and was way closer to it than I probably should have been. Oh, I wanted to show you the full Robo Monkey, but that's okay. But yeah, so I guess I'll end talking about the podcast. So, it's up in the air. We're actually talking about it. We're having a call later to actually talk about what is going to happen. Because I told him, like, dude, I don't have time for, like, anything. I already have this, which he doesn't actually know about. But, graduate school itself is very busy. Plus I work, as well. And so, he was like, what if I did all of the work and you just sat down and talked into a mic for an hour? And I'm like, well, yeah, I can do that. So we're finalizing some details later today. But yeah, so I posted that picture on my Facebook, and he was basically like, you should make a podcast talking about all of your like kooky, antics that you get up to. And I said him, I'm like, I love podcasts. I listen to podcasts all the time. So I told him, like, I would love that, but I don't have time. He was like, text me, and I did. He was like, I'm being totally serious about that podcast thing, right? And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, like, he's a teacher, so like I don't know how he has time to do any of this either. He was like, I'll do all the legwork, you just have to sit down and talk to a mic. And I'm like, sure. So I guess look for further details about that relatively soon. I have no idea how quickly that will get off the ground, if at all, so I honestly don't get your hopes up. But follow me on Twitter. I guess I'll close the video here. Make sure to follow me on Twitter if you want any future updates about that, because I will be posting about it there when the time comes, if it comes. As well as I'll probably make a dedicated video about it on the channel anyway, so keep an eye out for that. Also, just make sure to follow me on Twitter, at Pallet_U, to keep up on all things Pokemon science. And thank you for bearing with me for this episode of Anime Filler, while I have no planned content. And as always, there's a time and place for everything.